Hello everybody, this is Algebra 1, Lesson 2.1. Here's the contact email. And then here's the bell work here for 2.1. Simplify the expression. And this is write the percent as a decimal. So students, jump on that. If you're coming into the class right now, jump into your classwork. And if you need more room, attach a sheet and staple it to this sheet. Find square roots and compare real numbers. This is lesson 2.1. You found squares of numbers and compared rational numbers. You will find square roots and compare real numbers. Recall that the square of 4 is 4 squared equals 16, and the square of negative 4 is negative 4 squared equals 16. The numbers 4 and negative 4 are called square roots of 16. You will find square roots of non-negative numbers. We're not going to get to imaginaries yet. Key concept here for your notebook, and this is on your class worksheet. Square root of a number, words, if b squared equals a, then b is the square root of a. b is the square root of a. Example, 3 squared equals 9. Negative 3 squared equals 9, so 3 and negative 3 are square roots of 9. And this is class worksheet here, page 4. All positive real numbers have 2 square roots, a positive and a principal square root. And a negative square root, a square root is written with the radical symbol. This is your radical symbol here. The number or expression inside a radical symbol is called the radicand. Radical symbol, radicand here, radical symbol, radicand. 0 has only one square root, 0. Negative real numbers do not have real square roots because the square of every real number is either positive or 0. So this should be on your class worksheet. This is a notebook page here. Find square roots, example 1. Evaluate the expression. So a plus or minus 36, square root of 36 is plus or minus 6. Positive and negative square roots of 36 are 6 and negative 6. Because we have the plus or minus outside of the radical here, radical sign. If it was inside, it would be a much different problem. What's the square root of 49? Square root of 49 is 7. Positive square root of 49 is 7. And then the negative square root of 4. Negative square root of 4 is negative 2. Here's our first guided practice for this lesson. Evaluate the expressions. The independent practice, that's you students, that's for you to do. Evaluate the expression. Square root of negative 9. The negative of the square root of 9 is negative 3. And then the square root of 25 is 5. Classwork, perfect squares. The square of an integer is called a perfect square. As shown in example 1, the square root of a perfect square is an integer, as you will see in example 2. You need to approximate a square root if the radicand is a whole number that is not a perfect square. Classwork, page 7. Another notebook page here, page 8, notebook, approximate a square root. The top of a folding table, the square whose area is 945. Approximate the side length of the tabletop to the nearest inch. You need to find the side length tabletop such that s squared equals 945. This means that s is a positive square root of 945. You can use a table to determine whether 945 is a perfect square. Here is a table here. Square of a number. As shown, 945 is not a perfect square. It's not down here in our bottom row of perfect squares. It looks like it's somewhere between here and here. If you were to ask me, 900 is less than 945 is less than 961. So it's somewhere in here. So we can safely say square root of 900 is less than square root of 945 is less than square root of 961. Notebook page 10. 30 is less than this, is less than 31. Find square root of each perfect square. The average of 30 and 31 is 30.5. So 30.5 squared equals 930.25. Because 945 is greater than 930.25, 945 is closer to 31 than to 30. The side length of the tabletop is about 31 inches. So that's how you could arrive. This is your argument here, up here for this. Classwork sheet, page 11. Using a calculator for example 2. You can use a calculator. And this would be your calculator entry here to find your square root of 945. The value shown can be rounded to the nearest hundredths, 30.74, 30.7. In either case, the length is closer to 31 than to 30. Approximate the square root to the nearest integer. You could use a calculator here easily. Students, this is what you're responsible for on your own. The negative of the square roots here. So approximate the square root to the nearest integer. 25 less than 32 less than 36. So the square root of 25 is less than the square root of 32 is less than the square root of 36. And that is our contact information here. If you want to order this PowerPoint or it comes in video, you may. By contacting me, you can get worksheets for it. The worksheets interact with the PowerPoint. This is the homework for that assignment, the vocabulary and writing. And then we evaluate square roots, evaluate square roots, evaluate square roots, approximate square roots, approximate those the way we did it in the lesson, approximate square roots here as well as it was done in the lesson using compound inequalities for it. Then approximate the square root to the nearest integer here. And that is your lesson for lesson 2.1 in Algebra 1 Common Core. There again is your ordering information. Thank you very much.